Trying to make the screen bigger. There we go. Do you ever feel like a stranger walking alone in a strange and bitter land? I started having that feeling when I was about 9 or 10. The world seemed so strange to me. It just didn't compute. Nothing made any sense. There was no joy in Mudville or in Cleveland when I grew up. Cleveland was a lot like 14th century Europe in terms of the mindset. Simon, you're a bit restless, aren't you? Sit your ass down. Join us. And then, after over 25 or 30 years of searching, I found something that changed everything, which was the life force within me, the energy within me, the bliss that was my beingness. And it all happened because I loved a woman and she loved me. Our hearts were ignited. Our whole bodies were ignited and in resonance. And then one day, after a year and a half or 2 years of doing this, the life force showed itself to me. And this is what I'm trying to share with each of you. Not dried up Buddhism, not dried up Advaita, not dried up Christianity, Protestantism, Catholicism, but a welcoming you to your own bliss nature. Not the absolute of Nisargadatta, not the silence of Robert Adams, not the nirvana or emptiness of Buddhism, but your bliss body. The feeling of being alive. From 2010 and onwards, I could easily embrace the phrase of Muktananda. I have come alive from the emptiness, from the void, from non-feeling. I have come alive as a sentient being, a feeling being. Today I was looking at Facebook, and all these dried up Buddhists were discussing about the path today of shunyata or emptiness versus something else, and non-duality versus duality, separate self, and it just goes on and on and on. So utterly dry and heartless. They have no idea, as I had no idea until I fell in love. And it wasn't an ordinary human love like I had lived all my life having, but an extraordinary human love. A human love that grew and grew until it became divine love and awakened the life force within me. This is what I want to share with you. I want to invite you to my world, a world of feeling, devotion, love, heart opening, desires, sexuality, where your whole body comes alive. And when your body comes alive, you can feel inside of the body, deeper than the body, the energies within you, the life force within you, the bliss within you. I used to watch Muktananda when he was in Los Angeles, and he was on the stage, always laughing, joking. I thought, what a dork. What a jerk. He had no depth. What I didn't understand then is he had happiness and joy in every moment. Not a supreme indifference like Robert had for the world, a supreme indifference for his own emotions, but a joy in every moment as the life force filled Muktananda with bliss and happiness. It is this I want to share with you. If you want the absolute, the witness, the noumenal, the best way, the fastest way is not through dried out meditation, but through things that fill you with joy. For me, that's chanting and love. Feel that joy within yourself. Sink into your heart. Feel the sense of self and of existence in there. Abide there. Listen to sacred chants. Find someone to love. Find someone that loves you and love them back. There is a secret here. Inside of your body is another body, the subtle body, the spiritual body. Once you learned how to feel inside of your body, you can feel that there are different energy complexes within. Sometimes they're called chakras, if you are a devotee of the chakra system. Or you can just talk about the energies as prana or chi. And there are various centers, like the third eye, by which you can look into yourself and find the emptiness within. And within that emptiness, to find the circulating energies that have color, that have dimension, and then you can begin to feel them too. Somebody was talking to me today about having to spend time with her family, therefore she couldn't be at satsang today. And she said it was very strange being with her family. And the chit-chat, where she didn't feel anything except aggression coming from her sister. And it felt like an actual physical aggression. The energies she felt were so palpable that it felt like a hand hitting her, very physical. And thus you can get really that sensitive to feelings, to the energies within and to emotions, that they become as palpable and real as your own hand and as controllable as your own hand. Jonah, you can sink into your heart. Open your heart. Feel the love gushing out. Feel the love coming in. Sink lower into the gut and feel the energy of your entire sense of presence that becomes larger and larger and greater the more you're aware of it. Kathleen understands this. I think Simon does too. I know Sebastian feels it. I don't know about Kim. You're new, Kim. Max doesn't like talking. Spencer's silent too most of the time. Imra's here from the Netherlands. Imra, I didn't know that the Dutch had feelings at all. I thought they were required not to have feelings in the Netherlands. At least that's what I've been told. Michael is here too. How are you doing, Michael? Are you doing better? And Kev must be Kevin from Mexico. There's a chat that's come in. What does that chat say? Oh, Kim is also Dutch. I pity you. The land of planning, of thinking, of organization, of everything orderly. Everything has its price. Everything is marked up. Everything is a transaction. Is there any love at all in Holland? And Enrique comes from Colombia, where everybody so freely expresses love. But is it real love? Enrique would know the difference. Is the love normally expressed in Colombia the same as you now feel? Is it much smaller and contracted than what you now feel? But it's easier still to live in Colombia, where at least people talk about feelings, even if they don't have them, than here, or in Holland, where everything is money. Hi, Walker. Long time no see. So, I want you to feel the love that I have, that I feel, that Muktananda had and felt. Pure joy, pure happiness, pure love. Now, if you don't have a relationship, the better ways are through constantly listening to chanting, sacred chanting, like the one I was playing by Nityananda. That's Muktananda's successor. The boy who is now old, Nityananda. An even better way is falling desperately in love, where the only thing in your life is you and your beloved, and the feelings you share, the words you share with each other, where you worship the other, you're devoted to the other, you surrender to the other. And this is so rare for people to be able to feel, to be able to surrender. Because for some it feels like slavery, but it's not. If you love a guru who has had his heart or her heart totally opened, you can feel his or her ecstasies yourself. The light begins to show inside your heart, the light of consciousness. The love that they feel is felt in your own heart. The joy you feel, the bliss you feel is theirs to give to you. They have lit the flame in your heart with their flame in their heart. And thus the chant, Jota Sajota, kindle my heart's flame with thine flame. Kindle my heart's flame with thine. O Lord of Yoga, kindle my heart's flame with thine. And that's what I want to do with you, is kindle your heart's flame. At least know that it's possible to feel such unsurpassing joy and love and surrender. And then to be able to share it with another, your own personal beloved, your own human lover, It's not even necessary to have sex. All of it's necessary is to open your heart and to open your sexuality. You don't have to be in physical proximity. All that you have to do is love with all of your heart and all of your soul. And you can feel the light expanding in your chest and outwards and expanding everywhere. Like happened to Robert and happened to me. Hello, Jeff.
Hi.
There are 2 Dutch people here. Often there's a third. We should move to the Netherlands and suffer there. No emotions. So there's sacred chanting, there's loving, and then here's the interesting one. Sexuality can be used to ignite the heart. Sexuality not done with the intention of having sex, but used to light the heart, is a very powerful way. The sexual chakra is attached directly to the heart chakra. It's like a tube, extends from the perineum between your genitals and the anus right into your heart. It's a tube that the energies go up. And once you ignite that sexual feelings towards someone, it doesn't even have to be for someone. It could be for yourself. And that energy travels up to the heart. They become coordinated. And once that energy becomes coordinated, you can move up into the brain. And you enter samadhis. And you have all kinds of orgasms in various parts of the body as different chakras open up. And those orgasms feel like God playing in you. It doesn't feel like sex with another person. The genitals are not involved. Your heart is. Your brain is. Your whole body is. It becomes one-pointed, one energy. And you enter into samadhi. And the life force can explode in you. I love you all. Can you feel my love? Can you feel my love? Can you feel my energies? Can you reach in with your heart and feel my heart? Try it. Close your eyes. Reach into your own heart and feel my heart energies, trying to speak to you. Now, I wrote a post last night about trust and surrender, and what surrender to the Guru can do for you. Whether it's Muktananda or any of the other etc. Anandas around, or perhaps your own lover who you treat as a guru. For me, my second guru was a woman named Janet, who came to me, and when she saw me, she laughed and tripped on the doorstep. Right then I loved her. Sitting next to me in the car, looking at the ocean, she read Rumi to me. And then silently began orgasming. I didn't know what the hell was happening. I thought she was having an epileptic fit, a grand mal seizure. But when I realized what was happening, I just reached over and kissed her. And that began a romance that opened my heart and opened me to the life force within that recognized in Janet the life force that was in her. And by recognizing the life force in her, the wild energies, the love that she had, the wildness, I could feel it in myself. And one day, after feeling it long enough, it became totally visible to me and totally felt 100% by me. The life force in me came out and exploded, and I could fully say at that point, or after that point, I have come alive. I have come out of the deadness of Cleveland and of Advaita and Buddhism and come alive to the energies of my spiritual body. Entering your spiritual body is just the beginning, because the deeper you go, the more you find that was before invisible. You find your heart relatively easily. You find bliss relatively easily. But you begin to see that neither the physical body or even the bliss body is yours. You are beyond it. You are beyond both of them. But you have the ability to enjoy your physical body and your spiritual body, if you so choose, to just rest there and feel it. I want every one of you to have that fire inside of you and to light other people with it. I want to kindle your heart's flame and for you to kindle others, like Enrique is doing in South America. Like Mark must be doing with that little smile on his face, the smile of feeling. Kindle thy heart's flame with my flame. Then kindle the flame in others' hearts. The flame of love, of devotion, of surrender. And by that single-minded devotion and worship of another person, you resonate with their spirit. And if they know God, you will know God. If they know the life force, you will know the life force. There's no meditation necessarily, no other practices except to surrender, to love, and to worship that person. For all guys that are unattached, I highly recommend Janet to go see and fall in love with, or someone else that you can fall in love with. And the same for the girls, for the women. Do you have a secret love? Someone you can talk to and worship? That you're ready to let go of yourself? Because what has it done for you to hold on to yourself? When I met Robert, I was 48. For 3 years, I doubted him. I was always questioning, is this guy for real? What's his inner life like? But after 3 years with him, I suddenly realized I'd been on the path for 27 years, at least, doing nothing else. Studied under 6 or 7 Zen masters, Muktananda, other teachers. I was 51. And I still hadn't realized. Well, if I kept doubting Robert, would I have another 27 years of wandering around? Or should I just stop all this shit and just devote myself to him? And that's what I did. 3 years later, I had my first realization because I surrendered to him. I did whatever he told me to do, followed him everywhere, was with him every moment I could be. And the same thing later, 15 years later with Janet. All that I thought of was Janet, 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 Janet. We talked all day long. We felt energies throughout the day. We became telepathic with each other. She knew when I got up and would call me. 2,000 miles apart. Our love grew and grew and grew and became so one point. So ecstatic. But this was a different kind of awakening that I had as a result of this. It was awakening to the manifest self, the life force, not the abstract transcendental self of Buddhism or of Advaita, of the absolute, of the witness, of the unmoving, the unborn. But the liveness of being an embodied spirit, enjoying being embodied, enjoying the suffering, enjoying being able to feel, every moment being able to feel within one's own heart, the energies within, the circulating energies, sexual energies, heart energies, the third eye. And now you're in a different world. You're no longer in that empty and bitter land called the Netherlands, but you're in Feelingsville, Energyville, Blissville. It's an entirely different world that's alive. And it's impossible to go back to the family. You can't go back to the family outings on Sunday. You can't go out to the restaurants with your family who still does not know how to feel, who does not see you as the way you are, as a feeling being. But they talk in conventions about their house, their plants, their pets, their children's successes, politics, or even spirituality. But they don't feel deeply. So you feel a stranger in your own family. And they don't like you either because you're weird to them. They feel you being distant from them, but it's because you don't know where they are. You can't feel them in your heart. They're talking and talking and talking, but where are they? They're not rooted in anything. They're not rooted in their own beingness, in their own feelings, in their own love, in their own energies. But now, when your heart is afire, when your heart has been kindled by love and the explosion of orgasms and sexuality inside of yourself, all of it at once, you're in a different world. A world of fury, of energies, of love and lust, of heart. It's breathtakingly different from Cleveland of the 1950s, of Holland today, of Austria today, and even of Colombia today, or India. Come join me in Feeling Land. It's nowhere near Cleveland. It's finding your heart, either by doing self-inquiry on the sense of I amness, the feeling of I amness, not the idea or the thought I am. That's very superficial and centered in the mind. That's very Advaita. The realization you'll get from that is not very deep. But it's the feeling I am, the sense of I, of existence. If you merge into that feeling and just rest there, that can do it. Doing that while listening to chanting is another way. It helps. They add up together. They're additive. If you can fall in love, that triples it. In no time at all, your heart will be afire. Days, not years, not 27 years, days. I love you all. Can you just feel it? Can you feel it? Feel the explosion of love and life within yourself. Simon has finally calmed down. He's dropped into the bliss, maybe. Are there any questions or statements? Walker, I saw you smiling. That's an unusual stance for you. You run into some Tantra chicks? Kim, say something about yourself and how miserable your life is in the Netherlands.
Like this?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I had to cry when you said the thing about the disconnection with the people around you. I feel that a lot.